Joining us now, New York Times investigative reporter who covers Elon Musk, Eric Lipton. Eric, good to have you. What happens?
It's not really possible, actually, at the moment for the United States to cut itself off from SpaceX. I mean, Tesla is not really an important player for the United States government, but SpaceX is really vital, most importantly, to the Pentagon. And the Pentagon has a program that's called the National Security Launch that puts vital military assets into orbit to protect the United States from threats on the ground and from orbit. And SpaceX is the dominant company that's doing these national security launches, and it has contracts going out, past the end of Trump's term for billions of dollars of additional launches. And it is the most reliable and most affordable. And NASA is relying upon SpaceX, as your previous, guests have said, to bring astronauts to the International Space Station and to do resupply missions. And so it just, the United States at this moment it doesn't have an option of just saying no more SpaceX.
What about Starlink? We talked about this for a second. Give us a little bit more.
Sure. Starlink the Pentagon quickly has become addicted to Starlink. Not as a data communications resource. It only recently began to contract with them, but now hundreds of millions of dollars are being spent as a vital way for the military to stay in touch around the world for data sharing. And so, the Starlink is being used by a bunch of different federal agencies, but particularly the Pentagon. And it actually, increased the limit on how much it could spend because it was spending so much. And the United States is moving to have its own version of Starlink that would give the government complete control over those communications. And Bezos is starting to build out through Amazon its own space-based communication system called Kuiper. But that is just the first of those satellites have gotten into orbit. I mean, SpaceX has something like 7,000 of these. It has more satellites in orbit than any other company in the history of the world. And it's going to take years before Kuiper is anywhere close to that. So that's a vital means of communications for the United States that can't be replaced in the near term.
Steve Bannon has suggested that Donald Trump seize Elon Musk's companies. Is there a mechanism to do that? Would it be, you tell me, you're an expert better on this than I am. Would it be through, claiming that Elon Musk is unwell or drug testing him or doing something along that route?
I mean, the Trump administration hasn't particularly been, limited by what we normally consider to be, kind of the legal norms. And so, I mean, could they seize those assets? I guess theoretically they could, but there would be lawsuits, and I just think that that's impractical. And the federal government wouldn't want to take over. The reason that the United States is the world leader in getting to orbit right now is because the commercial space industry through Elon Musk and SpaceX is so dynamic and quickly growing, and that NASA and the DoD no longer are acquiring, bespoke vehicles to get to space. They're getting to space as a service. It's just like getting an airplane ticket is how we now get to space for the military and for NASA. And that's something that's a revolution that Elon Musk, to some extent, delivered. And the United States is not in any way, if anything, it's accelerating that move. So it's not thinking about nationalizing that. It would be really a disaster financially. And, the federal government has proven itself not particularly capable of pulling off those kinds of things.
No, they're not. It's not a private company. They can't fail the way that Elon Musk has been able to fail. And I mean that generously. When you fail, you improve. The United States government doesn't have that luxury, and we've seen so many of Elon Musk's rockets explode. But again, it's to give it the favorable light, to serve a purpose of figuring out how to make it work. Eric Lipton, thank you so much for helping us understand that it's not just so easy for Donald Trump to pull everything away from Elon Musk, that his systems are very deeply embedded in the federal government. Eric, thank you so much.